So if you don't know who Masteroogwgay is, you've probably never seen any of the Kung Fu Panda movies, and you've probably never used TikTok or YouTube Shorts. So in other words, you're an extinct breed of the human race, or a caveman that still uses dial-up internet. Because in the current state of things, it is virtually impossible not to be exposed to any of their videos, as they are being spammed across both platforms. And as for an unforeseen result, are having a terrible time with YouTube moderation, to the point where YouTube has taken multiple actions against them, and their YouTube channel is very much hanging by a thread currently, and with multiple people preying on their downfall, all with a plethora of motives, some valid, some invalid. And today, instead of looking at My Little Pony or whatever's on 4chan, and heaven forbid VR chat again, but today we're going to look at the declining reputation and viewership of Masteroogwgay, a very much once beloved content creator. But Masteroogwgay, or Umesh Sastim, was originally known for uploading videos like these.
Dear disabled people, just go to the settings and enable it. If her river runs red, you shall take her other hole instead. If her booty is big, take her home alone, even if she has an extra chromosome.
Yes, back in 2021, Masteroogwgay would gain prominence on the internet, imitating Masteroogwgay from Kung Fu Panda, the character that quite literally self-immolated when everyone needed them the most, but had a very recognisable voice, and Umesh would take advantage of that, as they could reproduce that voice to a convincing and accurate degree, and would use said voice to a comedic effect, representing the fictional character saying the most outlandish of things. And it was very funny. I used to be a fan of him. And you would have people spamming the comments of these shorts with what he should say next. People absolutely loved his content, and he was getting thousands of views on each short. Now, if you come across a gold vein like this, especially on the internet where you have a talent and people will watch said talent, and you can get monetary gain from this, just from simply saying a few words in a voice, then you are going to abuse and consistently mine said gold vein. But this was a problem Masteroogwgay would come across, a problem that would persist throughout their content creation career and would change people's opinion of them, and arguably lead to the decline of their following by their own hands, because they would not slow down with the content and would upload the same format of videos almost daily. Yes, a new video of Masteroogwgay saying something very explicit each day, but admittedly they were just trying to grow. Even if their content was the same thing each day, and people would still tune in for the Masteroogwgay impression. But some people and YouTube itself didn't enjoy the repetitiveness of this content. This is where they would get their first run-in with YouTube moderation. The first of many, unfortunately, as people were spam reporting their videos to the point where YouTube had to take action, and DreamWorks itself didn't like that Masteroogwgay, their intellectual property, was being used in said way. Said ways being a senior turtle saying some out-of-pocket things. So they would publicly tell everyone that this was happening, and would make a response where they would finally show their face. And to everyone's surprise, it was a very attractive guy. Some people just thought it would be an ugly homunculus, but no, it was actually just like a Giga Chad. Makes me worry for what people think I look like, Jesus. But this was a good move. Now they could do the Masteroogwgay voice with their own face, and DreamWorks couldn't take any action as he was no longer using the clips of the movie, and they can't say he's infringing on their intellectual property just from a tone of voice. This would also lead to his viewers becoming more loyal, as they could finally familiarise themselves with their voice to their face. This meant he could do more with his content, and could somewhat open up his previously closed personal life to his viewers. But despite this, he would still be striking the gold vein. He would still upload videos doing the Masteroogwgay impression just with his face. Sometimes it varied, but this was predominantly his content. Because if something's working, why do you need to change it up? He was still getting a decent amount of views, despite people knowing what he looks like now. And this wasn't even his peak in viewership yet. But as I said before, people got to know him more, and he somewhat started to change up his content. He released music, which I don't know why, is like if The Weeknd took fentanyl. Most of the music was like meme content, like Joji back in the day, but significantly less effort.
But
later on he would make more music, which would land him in hot water. But that's later on in the video. He also released merch, which was a condom and just a generic shirt. Now, I don't know about you. Well, I don't even know if you've ever felt the touch of another human being, let alone the feeling of love. Probably not, but if there was ever an opportunity where I would use this contraception, I know we're thinking decades here, I would definitely not use that. I would risk getting every STD imaginable, or the possibility of my swimmers fertilizing an egg, than trust any YouTuber that was shilling condoms. Like, I know Bella Delphine started doing it, now everyone's doing it, but Jesus. I don't think they would work anyway, but whatever. But around this time, he was just still doing the Masteroogwgay voice, and he had made friends with a fellow content creator called Man Like Isaac. This was around the beginning of 2022. His shorts were varying in views, but he was still doing very well, with occasional ones going viral. But he would start to make more edgier jokes, often some of them relating to race. Now, he is Turkish, and in his own words, he's not white, so he can't be racist, but he'd continue doing the Masteroogwgay voice, with his jokes getting more and more edgier. And at this point, he was very active in the gym and would show his progress, and would even open his own restaurant on the beach, something he would advertise constantly in his shorts. And his content was somewhat changing. He wasn't using the voice as much and was instead making other content. But one thing with YouTube Shorts is it's very hard to get people on your long form content. And I don't know the reason for this. I don't know. The generation's fucked, I guess. We don't want to watch 20-minute videos anymore. A majority of YouTube Shorts merchants can't get the same views as they get in their shorts, which is why they sit in the insane asylum of making 7-second videos for the rest of their career. But Masteroogwgay was different. He was transitioning a lot of people from his short form content to his long form content, admittedly to a varying degree, but some of them would get millions of views. Now, everything was going right for Masteroogwgay until 2023 hit, and the last 8 months, I guess, because I'm guessing the Masteroogwgay voice wasn't tickling people's pickle anymore, so you'd do other memes like my reaction to that information and the Giga Chad meme. But the thing is, a majority of these were just copy and paste. It was very cookie cutter with just different prompts each time. And yes, you could argue the Masteroogwgay voice was the same, but at least then he had to record the voice, not just put the same .mp4 video over the second quarter of the video. The humour was still edgy and the same, but there was just less effort going into them, and this would become more and more apparent. He had multiple gold veins going, but people were just starting to get bored of the same content over and over, and a distaste for him would slowly develop. But putting less effort into his videos transferred into other things as well. Now, Masteroogwgay had a great physique, one that possibly rivals mine, you know. My starving Ethiopian build is insane, but he would get the chance to dip his toes into boxing, like many content creators were doing, like KSI and Logan Paul, and the Creator Clash. In late 2023, he would be matched against another creator by the name of Simba. Now, everyone thought Masteroogwgay had this in the bag. Both of them were untrained in boxing, and not only did Masteroogwgay have a height advantage, he also had a weight advantage. So majority of people thought Masteroogwgay would win, and I assume because of his opponent's physique that he had the advantage, he wouldn't take it as seriously. He was still somewhat in the gym, but he had gained a tremendous amount of weight. His fat percentage was higher than it should have been, as most boxers tend to lean out towards their fight. But he was not leaning out, and he was not in the same physique as he was earlier. Now, it was a definite win for Oogway. Probably. Until Simba backed out the fight, and was replaced with the Master Chief himself. Quite literally Kratos in the modern age. His opponent had gone from a femboy twink threat to your average Goku build threat. Now this was a bit unfair to Masteroogwgay. This whole time he was expecting a far easier opponent, someone that was on the same level as boxing experience as them, so he probably didn't train as hard, and as I mentioned, like some of his content, wasn't putting the effort in. But now he was facing someone that was maxed out on every skill tree. Even at the weigh-in, you could see the clear difference between the two. But to his credit, despite the overwhelming odds, he did not back down. He still got into the ring to fight them, which is admirable in itself. But unfortunately, he did go down in the first round, fully displaying to people that he did not do any training, with wild punching and almost refusing to clinch, which would have heavily benefited him, against an opponent that was far stronger than him and well trained. Now he did lose due to the ref calling it quits because he was getting pummeled, but in my opinion, at least he tried. He fought with what he had and didn't back down, where a lot of people would have thrown in the towel months ago. But from this event, you could really see the people that detested him come out the woodworks, and the hate he had garnered was at its peak, and it would seemingly not plateau in the near future. As 2024 rolled around, Masteroogwgay wouldn't really change up their content. In fact, they doubled down on the copy and pasting and the effortless videos, and as a result, people being spammed with these videos led to him getting more hate, where people would now call him unfunny and he had fell off. Masteroogwgay was adamant that this didn't affect him at all and would just continue to make videos. But I would like to say it was somewhat of a spiral effect, where his content would just get worse and worse and people would hate him more. And even YouTube itself would contribute to the dog pile, with people constantly reporting his videos and YouTube demonetizing some of the edgier ones and outright removing them. YouTube would almost consistently keep removing him from the partner program, meaning he could not monetize or make money from his videos. But going back to Masteroogwgay, he would make multiple videos saying he was quitting YouTube, saying YouTube was treating him unfairly, and how could such a company treat someone that had dedicated 3 years to content creation in such a way?
They're not giving me my monetization back. Is this how you truly reward someone who spent 3 years on your platform creating videos?
Now I don't agree with his reasoning. I think if you upload almost the same video each time, you can't really say you've dedicated 3 years of your life to this. But admittedly, he did put a spin on each of these videos. It was not just the same .mp4 file, but I still can see why they removed him from the content creator program. One, his videos were borderline racist. Even if it was edgy humour and he's Turkish so he can say the N-word, I don't know if that's true. I'm as pale as the driven snow.
So, I'm gonna say it for the first time in my life properly.
He said the N-word. No hard R, but he said the N-word with the reasoning his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were slaves, so he can say the N-word. Slaves to the Ottoman Empire, by the way. Sometimes I genuinely think we're in a South Park episode. But he's also racist against other races like Asians.
Oh well, I'm a member, yeah. Leave a hot cold like December, yeah.
And two, it basically is copy and paste. YouTube are not going to keep allowing that to happen. And three, he has been known to steal people's memes and put his own music over it.
Kung Fu Panda.
And all of the above reasons is going to lead to people mass reporting him. So YouTube will definitely have to do something. And I think if you've been demonetized so many times and you actually get remonetized, I think you should probably change up your content just a tiny bit. Not act the same way after getting monetized again like you have dementia and it never happened. Now, as said, he would keep constantly quitting YouTube because they kept demonetizing him, and then eventually return him when he was allowed back in the partner program. And he would not change his content, it was still copy and paste, with a lot of them being demonetized, leading to him not making as much income as he would have intended. Now, the last 3 months were probably the wildest for him, and I can only title this as an active freefall into depravity. Because whilst he was uploading his usual music,
She reminds me of Mona Lisa.
slightly normal music, he would drop music like this.
My bitch called, she said cuckoo ka ka.
Now don't worry, it gets a lot worse.
Kung Fu Panda. Adolf Hitler is my nigga. I'm chilling with Anne Frank in the hot box.
Now I'm just going to give you a moment for your small brains to digest what just happened. Okay, your 2GB DDR1 RAM should have digested that by now. He jumps from a song saying, my girl's a toddler, to dapping up Hitler and chilling with Anne Frank in a hotbox. And keep in mind, this is after YouTube kept demonetizing his videos, by the way. Like saying you're disgusted how YouTube is treating you and you pull out this.
Adolf Hitler is my nigga.
You are crying that people are calling you a clown when you're in full makeup with a rainbow afro. And like his other music, he would play it over all of his TikToks and YouTube shorts, with the first 5 seconds of the shorts either being him introducing his girlfriend that was born 5 days ago, or him introducing his new friend that engineered the Holocaust. Now, I think there is a method to this madness. but it's just a little game theory. It's not, you know, concrete evidence, but it's just a little game theory. I think he's trying to do what Filthy Frank did, which is the method uploading music with the most outrageous lyrics, but it kind of slaps. Like Filthy Frank, Shut the Fuck Up.
If you're alive, you're a fucking penis hole. Grab a dick and eat it whole.
And Filthy Frank used these songs to transition into an actual artist. One which people respect, but if you look back like 10 years, he was making this music. But that's my theory. I think he's going down the Filthy Frank route, or he's just trolling at this point. He's uploading these songs fully knowing they're insensitive, and then moaning to YouTube that, oh, you've demonetized a video that I knew was going to get demonetized, and then threatening to quit for the 50th time, because he blatantly mentions this in a video, saying that even though people hate his YouTube shorts, he's still getting a lot of views from them.
Just making memes with the same template. Listen, if it was unoriginal, would it get any views? No. Why does it get any views? Why does it keep getting views if it is not original? If this is the secret to success, guys, getting maximum views for minimal effort. So I would say that I'm pretty clever.
And if he's uploading this music to get a reaction out of people, and that just means more views for him. But people did not take to the Hitler song very well, and people have been making non-stop videos about them. But once again, YouTube reared its head and took down his Hitler video. And with all the outrage he would take to responding to people on Twitter, saying he's just an actor like Leonardo DiCaprio, and he can't be racist, and then replying to anyone he could in the replies, and topping off with a meme, if this guy's forgiven, why can't I be forgiven? I think he's playing this off as, haha, I don't actually care, but indeed he does. Or it's just this 5-head play he's using to get more attention, which won't give him any money because he's demonetized. Unless Twitter's paying him, probably are. I use Twitter once a day, and as soon as my finger makes contact with the screen and moves slightly upwards, I've already seen someone's anal cavity that has had more interactions and made more money than my yearly salary. Now this is the current situation with Masteroogwgay. He's still losing his shit on Twitter, and still saying he's not racist, and his video is still taken down. But for some reason there are re-uploads of it that are completely fine and haven't been taken down yet. Now just for the ending statements, I think Masteroogwgay's music that doesn't involve anti-Semitic commentary, like Mona Lisa, you can actually see he has some potential and I like listening to it. But just a small caveat, I am tone deaf, and a cockroach being tased to death probably has more rhythm than I do. But Masteroogwgay was a good entertainer, and he was always satire and edgy from the start. But it has slowly got worse over time, it seems. And he hasn't really changed his content, it is the same thing to this day. But I used to enjoy his videos, and maybe the saying, you either die a hero, or live long enough to post edgy memes on YouTube Shorts. Now if YouTube wants to be nice to me, when I say like and subscribe, the buttons would light up, but they hate my British accent, so I don't know. Maybe I'll make some edgy memes. But anyway, bye-bye.